Hi, this is a hip rotation series and side lying, okay? So we're going to go through a few different movements, including our hip cars, some isometric holds, some knee hinges, and also some adduction work as well. First thing, side lying, you want to make sure your hips are stacked on top of each other, okay? So we're not rotating forward and we're not back, and make sure we're in pelvic neutral, okay? We're engaging that core to hold in that balance. You can put a foam roller or like some yoga blocks just behind you. This just allows you to stop rotating backwards and staying off those hips. So it really engages that core to hold you in that position and keep that move nice and secure. It's quite easy to think you're outside of a box and you can easily add some extra movement and compensations in. Just having that little bit of feedback, if you do touch it, you know that you've got to realign yourself and we're not allowed outside that box. We're going to go into our hip cars to start off with. So bringing in that top leg into hip flexion, bringing in as close as you can. We're then going to come up into abduction. Notice my knee stays in line with my foot. What can happen in this is your foot's coming up at an angle. This is what my leg always wants to do. So you've got to be key that you come into hip flexion, that your knee is coming up at the same time as your hips. So it's hips controlling that thigh muscle and also that ankle as well. We're not adding in some extra moves. From here, we then take it into internal rotation, which you can see I struggle with in here. So I'm really trying to see the outside of my thigh, rotate that femur inside, keeping it nice and controlled. I'm not rocking myself forward. And then I'm controlling that leg down into adduction. From there, we go into hip extension. We don't want to let our back arch, keep those ribs connected to our pelvis. If you feel any flaring, you've come out of that neutral. So don't engage that back. It might be the smallest of moves. As you can see, I'm wobbling a little bit to hold that balance in there. Take that leg back into hip flexion. You're then coming back into abduction. This time we're going to go to external rotation. You can see I want to rotate back at the same time. Try and see the inside of that thigh. That's why I've got that foam roller behind me, to notice I can't come off those hips. We're then bringing that knee up to our elbow, and then we're coming back into adduction in here, all the way back to neutral. You can see I'm controlling it down. That core's got to engage. We're not just dropping it down. Same again. Coming into hip flexion, get that knee as close to your chest as possible. Strong as we come up into abduction. Internal rotation, trying to see the outside of that thigh. Push that socket. You want to really open and create space. Coming back down into adduction. From here, we're going to take it into hip extension. Don't arch that back. Core controlled, holding it as we come all the way back into abduction. We're then going to externally rotate this time to try and see the inside of my thigh. Might get some shaking, as mine is. Trying to push them boundaries, create space. So we bring that knee to elbow or shoulder. And then we're bringing it back into adduction in here. Perfect. We're now going to add on some isometric holds. Coming back into hip flexion, so we're really working this hip car. We're opening up into abduction. From here, we're going to internally rotate. You're going to really force that open. Push, try and rotate it for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep pushing. 5, 4, 3, one more, 2, 1. And then from there, we're going to come back down into adduction. We're going to take it into hip extension. Again, make sure that core's tight. We're not bringing in that lower back. Lifting that leg up and out into abduction. We're going to rotate into external rotation. We're going to really try and want more. See that inside of our thigh. Push and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knee to hip, knee to hip, knee to elbow, lowering all the way back down, coming on round. Gonna add same again. This time we're gonna add in a couple of moves at the same time. Out into abduction, core tight, internal rotation, really push for that movement for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rotate straight the way into external rotation. See the inside of that thigh. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back into internal rotation. Push, push, push. Want that extra space. Hold that core for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Keep pushing. 3, 2, 1. Take it straight into external rotation. Hold in there. Push, push, push. Squeeze core tight for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back into neutral, lowering all the way down into adduction. We're then going to push back into our hip extension, core tight. That glute should be working now. Back out into abduction. We're going to just add on a couple more. We're going to come into that internal rotation. Might not want to come in. Keep holding that core, don't compensate. For another 10, 9, 8, 7, one more, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. External rotation, push, push, push. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back into that internal rotation. Push, 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 push. Core tight, don't arch that back. One more. Feel like you're pushing, rotating that femur. Keep going. For another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straight into that external rotation. Push, push, push. Core tight. Dig deep. Keep going. Want that bit more. You can see my leg wanting to shake and have a little spasm and dance. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bringing that knee all the way up. Controlling down. All the way back down. Great work. You should be able to start feeling that glute firing in there. Start getting a sweat on. That means you're doing it well as well. This is still a bit of a workout at the same time. No, I'm soon warming up. Okay, we're going to add on some knee hinges this time. So, same, adding in that hip car. So we're going to come into that hip car. We're then going to abduct in here. From there, we're going to take it into an extension. Squeeze your quad, really squeeze, pull that leg up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now bring that foot to your bum, squeeze those hamstrings, try and get that foot in. You can see mine going for it. Keep squeezing for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back into that 90. We're coming into internal rotation, core tight, holding there, taking that leg into an extension as we hold, squeeze that quad, keep rotating that femur, that hip joint, keep going for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now keep it internally rotated as we bring that foot back. Squeeze, try and get it to your bum. You might be better than me. Push, 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 push. Squeeze that hamstring for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relaxing off in there, coming on down into adduction. Well done, you're getting a few shakes in there. Just going to go back the other way. Okay, so we're taking it into hip extension. From there, we're going to come straight into extension at that knee. Holding in there, squeeze that quads, okay? Squeeze that quad. That back should not have arched. You're really balancing in there. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Keep going for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Foot to your bum. Do not let that femur rotate at that hip. Keep it straight. Keep pulling it back. Keep pulling it back for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Stay in that hip extension. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it off. Come out into abduction. Hold it in abduction. We're then going to take it into external rotation. So really holding core tight. We're extending that leg in external rotation. Hold, squeeze that quad, and see mine going for it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now bring that foot all the way to your bum. Stay in external rotation. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax off. Oh, I nearly knocked my foam roller. Coming all the way back up. Control, lowering it all the way back down. Have a little relax in there. You can give it a little tap and a rub if you need to. Okay, loosen it up. We're now going to work the inside of our leg. We're going to do some work in our adductors. So you're going to drop this leg over. Now again, make sure we're not rolling all the way forward. Those hips stay stacked on top of each other. We're going to start by just lifting and lowering. What's key is you're not already rotating that femur at that hip, so make sure it's in neutral. I know some people naturally come out, some people come in. Try and make sure it's in neutral and you're aware of that. Core still staying tight. I'm not flaring my ribs. Keep it all nice and tight in here. Ribs are connected to our pelvis. I'm not using my lower back. Again, you can still keep that foam roller there as a bit of feedback. So we're going to lift and we're going to lower. So we're just doing some lift offs to start off with. Lifting on up, lowering down, lift, lower. Good. One more. Core tight, bracing yourself. Good. Lower down. We're going to lift and hold isometrically for a little bit longer, okay? So we're going to lift and hold. Squeeze that adductor. You can see you're really pushing to want more height. Make sure you're not rotating that femur. Hold for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Control, lowering it down. Going to do the same again. Make sure again you're not rotating that femur. Work that adductor. Lifting. Try and get a little bit more height. Try. Don't compensate. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Push. 2, 1. Lowering on back down. We're now going to add on some knee hinges. So you're going to come up into that adductor, lift and hold in there. And now we're going to keep that foot in line with that hip. Make sure it's staying in line. Squeeze it all the way back. A little bit look like you're running. Hold. Squeeze that hamstring. Try and get that foot to that bum. Keep that leg lifted in adduction. 4. Another 10, 9, 8, 7, squeeze, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that adduction up as we're straightening that leg. Squeeze that quad as well. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering on down. My leg was having a good old party in there. Don't know about yours. Okay, same again. Core tight, lifting up into adduction. Keep that height, okay? Make sure that you don't still see your foot and rotate at all, okay? So we're lifting up and we're holding. Bringing that leg back, trying to keep that height of that adduction. Squeeze everything. Try and get that foot to that bum. Keep squeezing. Remember to breathe. Pack on that core for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it into an extension. Lift that leg up. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering on back down. Take a little breath in there. And now we're going to roll on and do it all on the other side. Okay. So back on the other side. Hip on hip, shoulder on shoulder. Make sure we're not leaning back and we're not leaning forward. Okay, some people might naturally be flexed at the hips. Try and keep them nice and open. Core tight, and use this other arm to stabilize yourself. You can push through this arm to have that tension into that body. You're probably feeling that adductor from working, okay, from just that exercise. Now we're going to go through that hip car to start off with. Again, you can have that foam roller yoga block behind your back and bum to make sure we're not rolling back. It will knock over, and just having that feedback. You could put one over in front. You just have to be wary when we come up into hip flexion. So let's give it a go. Hip flexion. Okay, you can see that my leg always wants to drop as well. So make sure we're keeping that foot, knee, hip alignment. This also gives you an indication of what's your foot doing and what's your knee doing when your hip's doing something, okay? If you notice anything, have a little jot down. Taking it out into abduction. We're coming into internal rotation, trying to see the outside of that thigh. Holding there, lowering all the way down. Control it. Try not to have a little jolt like mine just did. I think it's a little bit tired. All the way down. Okay. We're now going to go into hip extension. So we're going to kick back. Okay. We're then going to lift up into abduction. You see how my foot's wanting to rotate and do funny things. Okay. Try and make sure it's all staying in line as we take it out into external rotation. So even mine aren't perfect. I'm working on them all the time. External rotation, knee to elbow / shoulder, and then come in controlled all the way back down into hip flexion, extending back to neutral. Same again. Plant that core, breathing in, push that belly away, hip flexion. Out into abduction. Take it into internal rotation. Oh, can feel it in there. And then lowering on down into adduction. Again, feel that glute wanting to fire in. Take it into hip extension. Don't let your back arch, core tight. Out into abduction. External rotation. Into knee to elbow. Flexing that hip. Adducting back into that body. Lowering on back down to neutral. Perfect. We're going to add in those isometric holds. So keeping that form. Coming in, hip flexion. Opening out into abduction. Okay, you can tell that I want to rotate a bit further. I got a little bit of feedback. Internal rotation. Push, push, push. I want to see the outside of that leg. Core tight. Push it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering on back down to adduct into the body. We're going to take it into hip extension, core tight. Don't let that back arch. It might be easier to do on one side than the other this as well. Don't be surprised at that. Okay, coming all the way up into abduction. We're going to externally rotate this time, try and see the inside of that thigh. Push, 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 hold. For another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knee flexion. Knee flexion, it is flexing. Knee flexion, lowering all the way down into adduction, coming all the way back. We're going to add on them same time now for forward and back of our internal external rotation. Coming on up, abducting away from that body. Okay, so already going for it, this leg. Internal rotation, push, 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 hold, keep trying to rotate, create that space for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straight into external rotation. Push, push, push. Keep going for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back into internal. Squeeze. I know it's tough. Work, work, work. Feel that burn. Push, push, push. For another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to external. Push. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back into 90 and lowering back down. You can see mine likes to have a party. We're going back into that hip extension. Make sure you're still staying at 90 degrees at that knee. A lot of people can try to extend. Keep it at 90. Don't let those rib flare. Coming on up into abduction. Straight into internal rotation. Oh, my body doesn't like this now. Keep going for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rotate back out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's rotate it again. Keep going. Squeeze for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. External again. Keep going for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Into hip flexion and bringing it all the way back down into adduction. Oh, it's firing up now, mine is. I don't know about yours. Feeling that glutes. Okay, we're going to add on those knee hinges this time. So we're going to bring it up into hip flexion, holding in there. We're then going to come out into abduction. We're going to extend that leg in abduction. Squeeze that quad, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hinging back, get that foot to your bum, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 90, and internal rotation, really internally rotate. Extend that leg in internal rotation, squeeze, don't let that pelvis move. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bringing it right the way back to your bum. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. For 10, 9, keep it in internal rotation. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering back into adduction. Good work. We're going to go into our hip extension. Remember, ribs don't flare. Okay, we're extending that leg. Remember, keep it in neutral. Squeeze that quad, holding that hip extension for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now bring that leg all the way back, stay in that hip extension, squeeze. You might get some cramp, that's okay. Waking up that nervous system, squeeze, keep going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out into abduction, external rotation. Take it into extension, squeeze that quad for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back in, squeeze for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relaxing off, hip flexion, and all the way back down into neutral. Adduction into neutral. Well done. Resting that leg over. Let's work that adductor now. Again, make sure we're not just dropping in here. We're keeping it nice and tight. We're just going to start with those lift-offs again. Lifting and lowering. Make sure that pelvis isn't rotating. And make sure your femur's not already rotating as well, guys. Good. We're going to lift and hold for that bit longer. Hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering back down. Try and lift again and hold. Push, push, push. Don't rotate that femur. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can probably see mine. It's really going for it. One more of those, lifting up and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe. Core tight. We're going to add on that knee hinge, okay? So lifting on up, and we're going to squeeze, keep it in, adduction, into lift, squeeze that hamstring back, push, for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Taking it back out. Keep that height. Squeeze for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering on down. Okay, same again in there. Adduction. Squeeze that leg. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. No rotation. Bringing that leg all the way back. What is it doing? Keep going. We're going to try and have to adjust because I know my foot's wanting to do other things. Try and get that foot to that bum. Squeeze that hamstring. Keep that adduction up for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend it out. Keep that height. Keep that lift for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering back down, relaxing off in there. Well done. So there's some side laying for you to have a go. In those hip cars, you can add on more extensions, you can add on repeated lift-offs, hold the isometric for a little bit longer if you want to. Give it a go, but work your way up. Don't just go straight into like 20-second holds. Hold it 10 seconds, and if you can only do one round of that, that's fine. Go on to the next bit, add your hip hinges, your knee hinges on there. Key thing, core's not rolling and we're not compensating using another area of our body. Watch that general rotation of that hip. We might be naturally rotated into external rotation. Let's make sure that we're starting in neutral and we're not starting in internal rotation. It's quite easy to do and we're not even realizing that maybe when I stand, actually I'm in a little bit of external rotation already. So we might have to work on keeping a neutral rather than having a general external rotation. So loads of different ways that you can do it. If you're unsure and want to do a one-to-one, just let me know and we can jump on a Zoom and we can break it down just to see what you can get. If you do get a bit of cramping, do not worry, okay? You might want to break out of it and re-go again. Otherwise, see if you can bear with it. It might be you come out of it a little bit slightly, but that's just stimulating that nervous system, waking it up, saying, I've got a muscle here that needs to be used, okay? So it's good that we're getting that neural pathway working and stimulating it for that position and making sure that muscle switch on for it. Because it might be we're in a position and that muscle's not switching on when it needs to, and that's when we've had compensations and lead into injuries. Okay, any questions, let me know, but I hope you enjoy and get a nice little burn in that one. Take care.